The Bentley PlantSight Digital Twin is an Azure-hosted application to visualize and analyze operational and asset performance to make better decisions in your plants anywhere in the world. PlantSight is helping oil producers to make the world a better place, digitalizing to meet net carbon neutral targets and keep assets, people, and the environment safe. Here we can see at a glance all the relevant escalations and alerts based on current health of plant assets. Power BI report, it shows that my actual event severity level is low. Here is a streaming view of 4D analytics and what is going on in the operation. What differentiates the Bentley solution is that it is open and interoperable. It converges and connects data from engineering, operations, and maintenance to validate it, contextualize it, and keep it evergreen. This empowers people with the situational intelligence needed to minimize risk and costs, maximize safety, and optimize production. Executives want to know how plants are performing and what events could potentially hurt their staff, the environment, or impact budget. Your digital twin should allow you to confidently see what is going on with your assets' health today, tomorrow, and 6 months from now, enabling you to predict what you cannot see. PlantSight enables a system of systems approach, helping engineers to gain insights and envision engineering changes required for sustainability, resilience, and adaptability to keep the plant profitable and compliant. For example, managing chemical usage and monitoring corrosion rates during drilling and production to ensure compliance, safety, and cost efficiency, which can typically reduce chemical usage by up to 10%, saving millions annually. Seeking ways for the plant to be more energy efficient. Also consider falling production with full visibility to plant assets, understand why assets are underperforming, decide if upgrades, additions, or modifications are required to address the problem, analyzing where bottlenecks exist and use up-to-date PIDs and PFDs in the digital twin to look at options to increase capacity. Towards long-term goals of carbon neutrality, envision through the digital twin what can be done to existing plant assets to achieve this target, how to speed up decision-making and provide more efficient digital integration with contractors. With PlantSight, we now have a solid foundation on which engineers can validate concepts and designs throughout the life cycle and collaborate with operations and maintenance to find bottlenecks in the process and make better decisions to improve plant performance. Let's take a closer look at the model view of the digital twin to mirror what is happening at the plant. Never before has operations, maintenance, and engineering had access to the same asset intelligence to solve plant problems and address failures. All have ownership of different aspects of the problem, which could be costing the business $100,000 to $200,000 in unplanned downtime. We know it takes way too long to find information, and worse, where there is a change, a modification, or addition to an asset, it takes way too long to update all the other systems that need to know about this change. So consequently, systems that people rely on don't have accurate data, complete data, or sufficient data to make the right decisions. The PlantSight Evergreen Digital Twin changes this. With PlantSight, you eliminate disconnected data in a plant. Pulling together data from multiple sources and consistently analyzing data has never been easier. In the past, engineers did not have easy access to detailed engineering models. 3D models were not kept up to date since delivered by contractors when plant was built. PlantSight makes it easy to build the twin and access all multidisciplinary engineering data, 1D, 2D, and 3D, alongside operations data and keep it up to date in the digital twin. PlantSight aggregates data from multiple sources, including Bentley's OpenPlant, Autodesk, Navisworks, Revit, and Aviva PDMS. This model was designed primarily with Hexagon's SmartPlant 3D. In many operating plants, there may be no 3D model at all. Here in this plant, they have added a pipe rack later, so it was not included in the original design handed over from the contractor. With PlantSight's reality modeling software, we can capture higher resolution photographs and quickly create a photorealistic reality mesh. And now it's part of the digital twin. Let's look deeper into the digital twin to resolve the plant performance problem. Click on the alarms and it provides a view of the assets that need attention. Here we see the asset in alarm, but before acknowledging the failure, let's dig deeper into the twin to find out where this asset is, what actually caused the problem, and decide if it's time for an intervention. In the digital twin, we visualize everything relevant to the asset in its current operating context and can access historical data as well. On the far right, we see the alarms. Below that, we see the functional requirements. Below the 3D model, we see the documents, photos related to inspection and history, reliability program information like hypothetical events that could happen, and the details of the actual events, partial failures that occurred, and how it was resolved. Reliability and integrity engineers responsible for an asset or area are automatically notified and can visualize failures in the digital twin. Here, the asset in critical alarm, in red, has functionally failed. In the convenient picture-in-picture view of the piping and instrumentation drawing (PNID), we see the full system and understand that the second pump in the circuit could also be looming failure. The engineer needs to avoid or mitigate the consequences of a complete system outage. The digital twin will help to review HAZOP checklists and also determine things like how to isolate the pump, what valves and which lines need to be shut off. Incidents can be avoided with proper assessment and management of risk. Here we are able to see real-time performance data for Pump 2 processed and visualized through the PlantSight digital twin. Data is aggregated and analyzed from many sources, for example IoT sensors, edge devices, data from Azure IoT Hub, programmable logic controllers, and data historians which communicate to the digital twin cloud service based on industry standards for interoperability. Note that not all systems adhere to open standards like PlantSight does. PlantSight is built to provide far greater insights to ensure that problems are not just visualized, they are solved and not repeated. Insights are automatically visible based on the calculated performance indicators and visualized so the team can see the trend. The reliability engineer is able to review comparative analysis on the performance of the two pumps. The Hypothetical Events tab provides access to the potential and root causes of failure for the asset. No longer is access to the underlying reliability program a problem. Here it is at your fingertips. The Actual Events tab provides insights on the history of failures, and the history of work is accessible without having to open the maintenance system. With a full understanding of the situation, the engineer can now acknowledge the alarm and create a work order which is then automatically routed to the planner. The planner sitting in his home office works primarily in Microsoft Dynamics or any CMMS. Parts and labor are pre-planned in the standard job in the asset management system. He uses the digital twin hosted in cloud via Microsoft Azure to aid in planning the work order, review the actual event that triggered this alarm, review historical condition, degradation trends, review failure modes which are the potential causes of the problem. He can also review permits to work and safety procedures. He can also take a quick measurement to see any special equipment would be needed to access or get around the asset. After verifying the job details in the digital twin, the planner can now schedule it. To complete the story, the tradespeople execute the work order. They too can access the digital twin on site using HoloLens, tablet or laptop to familiarize themselves with the area and any restrictions, visualize any highlighted physical changes, access safety information, train new apprentices on the assets and standard procedures which can also be done on site using HoloLens. On completion of the work, the tradesperson closes the work order in the CMMS. The work history is visible in PlantSight for future reference. In summary, time to decision is key. With PlantSight, we know for certain that we are accessing accurate data in a living digital twin, when and where we need it. We can take actions based on this contextualized data visible together only in the digital twin. We have achieved visibility of data across the asset lifecycle for analysis, training, and familiarization, safety, collaboration, and ultimately to make timely and informed decisions.